All right, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the incumbents and why you chose Conquest over incumbents. You're familiar with other planning tools in the market. You've talked a little bit about a few of the key differentiators. Tell me a little bit more about what you feel Conquest does better or different than other incumbent planning tools in the market today.
Sure. So we've looked at a number of tools. We work with a long-standing one for almost 30 years. We looked at other fintech type tools that were out there, for example, Voyant and others. And the payoff for changing needs to be large enough than the change management you have to put in to be able to get people from where they are today to where they're going. And so for us, when we looked at it, we said, is the investment big enough? What we're looking for in a modern financial planning software company is that agile approach to business. I want someone without legacy systems, working for a company that has legacy databases and infrastructure. It takes a lot of time to move things through the process because of the complicated infrastructure and architecture that's behind the scenes for large established companies. Brand new companies like yourselves don't have those legacies. You can build it from the ground up on new technology on a modern platform, and you can go with agile a lot better than anybody that's a large company. And that's why you see fintech companies move 3, 4, 5 times faster than people that have more financial resources, like the big banks, but they don't have the ability to move as fast because of usually legacy architecture and technology. And so that checked the box that you can move fast, you can be agile, you're not tied to legacy technology, you've got modern API ability to move data between systems, which is important. So you can be the hub. What we found great about Conquest is your engine will do all the calculations for us, but how we want to deliver that data to the client, we can use your native portal that you've created for clients, which is great, or we can take that data out through APIs and make it look like whatever we want. And we can make it look like digitally whatever we want or printed however we want. We can make that experience our own. It all depends on the amount of resources we want to put into it. But you are an enabler to give us that flexibility over time, which is great. I think the other part too is then simplicity of use was important. The more that your program feels like an app, where you download an app off the iStore and you don't need explanation and instructions, you just use it, the better the adoption is going to be. This felt very appish, not a technical term, but you know what I mean? Like it had to be that sense of simple and guided and easy to use. We felt that was there as well. And so, and then you've done this before. So this is very different than a fintech company where they came out with a great idea and said, I think there's a gap in financial planning, we need to modernize it, but they've never built it. Your leadership team is built on people that have done this before. Yes, at different firms, but they're aware of aggregation and how it works. They're aware of how to build a financial planning software and the complexities that come with operating in 2 languages in Canada and 10 provinces, and eventually as you expand into other areas, the challenges that come with it and the unique, how pensions work, and we have different retirement accounts here versus the United States. Those are all challenges that your team has tackled before. So if we go back to the second house I bought, I would do it totally different today. I would change the receptacles. I'd have smart receptacles. I would have changed where the fireplace was. I would have had them finish the basement, even though they told me not to. I would have said, do it. I'll deal with the consequences. There's so many things you would do if you rebuild something a second time. And your firm, although new, is rebuilding it for the second time. And it's going to just be that much better, sturdier. You learn from things before and faster. The other part that we didn't know at the time, but I would say is a benefit for us today, is the agile and collaborative nature has exceeded expectations between Conquest and ourselves. We have weekly meetings, everyone shows up, we see things change very quickly. You're developing faster than we can keep up, which is great on the implementation side. So the notes are clear. Here's all the improvements we've made over the last month. And now we want to make sure it gets through our testing so that we don't blow up other systems for our clients as it's integrated into our infrastructure. But we're not waiting on your team's waiting on us in many cases. And so it's been a really good partnership because we're building this together. The advisors are helping shape the future of this software. And I think if advisors design it, it's going to be better utilized than a bunch of executives that think that they know what's going on. So this is you have software built by advisors for advisors. Something like that, I would say, is what's happening as they're shaping it with all the requests that are coming in.